Hello guys, welcome to yet another wonderful session of learning with Prep Class. My name is Tutor Olalekan Israel, your Prep Class English tutor, and I am super excited to have you join me in today's session of learning. Now in today's session, we will be answering question 36 to question 40 from the WAEC English 2017 past question. Remember, the purpose of this session is to help you prepare for your forthcoming WAEC examination. So, without wasting much time, kindly take a moment to subscribe to this channel, turn on the post notification so you can be notified whenever we upload any new content. Alright, let's begin. Now, for question 36 to question 40, we have an instruction here. The instruction reads, from the words lettered A to D below each of the following sentences. From the words lettered A to D below each of the following sentences, choose the word or group of words that is nearest in meaning to the underlined word as it is used in the sentence. Choose the word or group of words that is nearest in meaning to the underlined word as it is used in the sentence. Question 36 reads, a group of experts was brought in to verify the authenticity of the evidence. The underlined word here is verify. So which of the options here is the nearest in meaning to verify? A. Support. B. Improve. C. Correct. D. Ascertain. Now, to verify means to make sure of or to demonstrate that something is true. To make sure of or to demonstrate that something is true, accurate, or justified. It means to confirm, to prove. So a group of experts was brought in to confirm, to justify, to prove the authenticity of the evidence. Option A, support. Support means to give assistance to help. Option B, improve. Improve means to make better, to develop, to upgrade. Option C, correct. Correct means to make free from error, to be accurate. Option D, ascertain. Ascertain means to find something out for certain, to make sure of. So the answer is option D, ascertain. A group of experts was brought in to ascertain, to make sure of the authenticity of the evidence. Now when you look at verify, verify means to make sure of or to demonstrate that something is true. Ascertain means to find something out for certain, to make sure of. So what? Both verify and ascertain means what? To make sure of. To make sure of something. To make sure of the authenticity of the evidence. A group of experts was brought in to verify the authenticity of the evidence. To ascertain the authenticity of the evidence. So the nearest in meaning to verify is option D, ascertain. Right. Moving on to the next question, question 37. Remember we had selected the option that is the nearest in meaning to the underlined word. Question 37 reads, due to the pressure at work, the old man had no alternative but to relinquish his post. Due to the pressure at work, the old man had no alternative but to relinquish his post. The underlined word here is relinquish. So which of these options is the nearest in meaning to relinquish? Option A, give out. Option B, give in. Option C, give up. Option D, give away. So, which of these options is the nearest in meaning to relinquish? Now, relinquish means to voluntarily cease to keep. To voluntarily cease to keep or claim. To give up. So, due to the pressure at work, the old man had no alternative but to give up his post, to leave his post, to renounce, to hand over, to resign. Now, option A, give out. Give out means to distribute something, to announce or to declare. Option B, give in. Give in means to cease fighting, to cease arguing, to admit defeat, to surrender or to yield. I give in. You cease to fight or argue. Option C, give up. Give up means to part with something that one would prefer to keep. Now, the old man would have actually preferred to keep his job, but due to the pressure, he had to give it up. He had to relinquish his post. Give up also means to renounce. So looking at the meaning of relinquish and to give up, we have what? Renounce. So it means what? To leave something that you would have actually preferred to keep. But due to the pressure, the old man had no alternative but to give up his post. To relinquish his post. It is not option D, give away. Give away means to give something freely as a gift or donation. Give away also means to reveal the true identity of someone or something. The owner was given away by the scar on his face. So his true identity was revealed by the scar on his face. So the nearest in meaning to relinquish is option C, give up. Relinquish means to voluntarily cease to keep or claim, to give up, to renounce, to hand over, to resign. Give up means to part with something that one would prefer to keep, to renounce. So the nearest in meaning to relinquish is option C, give up. Due to the pressure at work, the old man had no alternative but to relinquish, but to give up his post. Alright, moving on to the next question, question 38. Remember, we had to select the option that is the nearest in meaning to the underlined word. Question 38 reads, the obstinate boy soon met with his Waterloo when the war broke out. The obstinate boy soon met with his Waterloo when the war broke out. The underlined word here is obstinate. So we have to select the option that is the nearest in meaning to obstinate. Option A, proud. Option B, stubborn. Option C, careless. Option D, rude. So which of these options is the nearest in meaning to obstinate? Now, to be obstinate means to be stubborn. The stubborn boy soon met with his Waterloo when the war broke out. To be unyielding, unbending, inflexible. You can't change him, he is stubborn. Now, looking at the options we have here, the answer is already what option B, stubborn. Because obstinate means to be stubborn. Now, stubborn means to be obstinate. Having or showing dogged determination not to change one's attitude or position on something, especially in spite of good argument or reason to do so. Now, there's a good argument for you to what? Change your attitude or position on something, but because you are stubborn, you are not going to change. Showing dogged determination not to change one's attitude or position on something. So, obstinate means to be stubborn. Stubborn means to be obstinate. It is not option A, proud. Proud means having or showing a high or excessively high opinion of oneself or one's importance, to be arrogant. Careless means not giving sufficient attention or thought, to avoiding harm or errors, to be inattentive, to be negligent. It is not rude. Rude means to be offensively impolite or bad manner. The nearest in meaning to obstinate is stubborn. Obstinate means to be stubborn. Stubborn means to be obstinate. You are unyielding, unbending, inflexible, having or showing dogged determination not to change one's attitude or position on something, especially in spite of good arguments or reason to do so. So, the nearest in meaning to obstinate is option B, stubborn. Alright, moving on to the next question, question 39. Remember, we had to select the option that is the nearest in meaning to the underlined word. Question 39 reads, the prescribed textbooks are difficult to find in the bookshops. The prescribed textbooks are difficult to find in the bookshops. The underlined word here is prescribed. Now, option A, highlighted. Option B, right. Option C, actual. Option D, recommended. So which of these options is the nearest in meaning to prescribed? What does the word prescribed mean? Now, prescribed is the past tense of prescribe, which means to advise. The advised textbooks are difficult to find in the bookshops. To authorize. Prescribed is the past tense of prescribe, which means to advise and authorize the use of something. To authorize the use of something. Okay, these are the textbooks you should use. That means describe. Prescribe is the past tense of prescribe, which means to advise and authorize the use of something. Okay, these are the textbooks you should use. They have been prescribed to you. You have been advised and authorized to make use of these textbooks. Now, it is not option A, highlighted. Highlighted is the past tense of highlight, which means to draw special attention to. Like when you're reading a book and you want to remember a particular part, you can actually highlight it with your marker to draw special attention to. It is not right. Right means to be morally good, acceptable and justifiable. Not wrong, to be accurate, to be correct. It is not actual. Actual means to be existing in fact, to be real, to be true. Now, the nearest in meaning to prescribe is recommended. Recommended means to be advised or suggested as good or suitable. To be advised or suggested as good or suitable. Prescribed means what? To advise and authorize the use of something. Recommended also means what? To advise and authorize the use of something. You have been recommended these books. These books have been recommended to you. They have been advised. And these books have been suggested to you. You have to make use of these books. Recommended also means what? To put forward someone or something with approval as being suitable for a particular purpose or role, to endorse, to approve. These textbooks have been approved they have been endorsed. They've been advised that you make use of them. They've been suggested to you. Prescribed means what? To advise and authorize the use of something. So you've been advised and authorized to make use of these textbooks, but they are difficult to find in the bookshops. The textbooks have been recommended to you. So the nearest in meaning to prescribed is option D, recommended. Right. Moving on to the next question, question 40. Remember, we have selected the option that is the nearest in meaning to the underlined word in the sentence. Question 40 reads, our stationery supplies are exhausted. Our stationery supplies are exhausted. The underlined word here is exhausted. So which of these options is the nearest in meaning to exhausted? Option A, completed. Option B, finished. Option C, consumed. Option D, destroyed. Now, exhausted means to be very tired, to be worn out. I am exhausted, I am tired, I am worn out. Now, exhausted also means to be completely used up. So they have completely used up what? Their stationery supplies. It also means to be finished. Their stationery supplies are finished. So the nearest meaning to exhausted is option B, finished. Finished means to bring a task to an end. That is not the meaning we are actually looking at here. Finished also means to have used up all of the supply. These people have used up all their stationery. So our stationery supplies are finished. They are exhausted. To have completely used something up. To have exhausted it. To have finished. To have used up all of the supply. It is not completed, because completed means to have finished making or doing something. They are not making the stationery themselves. It is not consumed. Consumed means to finish something, especially food or drink. It also means to use up a resource. Destroyed means to demolish, to wipe out, to tear down. Now, the nearest in meaning to exhausted here is finished. Exhausted means to completely what? Use up. Finished means what? To have used up all of the supply. Our stationery supplies are finished. They are exhausted. They have been completely used up. So, the nearest in meaning to exhausted is option B, finished. Our stationery supplies are exhausted. They are finished. We don't have any left. Alright. And with that, we've come to the end of this wonderful session. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. If you enjoyed this video, click on the like button. Do not forget to drop your questions in the comment section. Also, share this content with your friends and loved ones. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of